Welcome back to Pen and Prosper. I'm Melissa Delport and I'm back with JT today. She is back
Woohoo!
from Sevilla.
I'm back.
This is a podcast where we talk about writing and publishing and manifesting and everything in between. So, friend, back from Spain. How do
It,
you feel?
I feel amazing. It was such an amazing experience. I loved it so much. My head is still spinning from everything I've learned and all the amazing people I met. Oh, it was just fantastic. But to keep things real, this week has been hard for me. Like I've been exhausted and battling my word counts, like just feeling,
Oh, shame.
yeah,
And you're under a lot of pressure with
yeah,
your word
not
count
like
too. So
overwhelmed,
that's.
overwhelmed, but like just like my head is exploding. You
And
want to
while
know
it's fresh in
first?
your mind, yes, while it's fresh in your mind, we would like to learn from this experience. So, firstly, tell us about the actual panel that you sat on. How did
Okay.
it go? How was it received? How was the attendance? Yeah, tell us
Yeah.
about that first before
Yeah.
we discover what you learned.
Okay. So the panel was wild. Okay, so first of all, in Spain, you do things a little differently, right? It's not like the London conference where you like drink coffee and use your best English manners. It's Spain.
Okay.
So like you're chilling, you're eating, you're drinking wine. There's a 2 hour lunch break where you can network.
Oh, wow.
It's perfect because like now I go to conferences to network more than to listen to the talks. So it is absolutely perfect
Yes.
for me. Like I met so many people, you pick up so many golden nuggets. But anyway, like food, wine, I'm like, this is gonna be the best panel ever. But why I say it was wild is because it kind of like completely veered off topic with the questions and stuff. So like the interviewer
I
was
was just going to say, because we did that trial run last week, did you use any of it or did it all go up in
N
smoke?
nothing because we didn't even talk about burnout. We didn't, well, like, I mean, I probably said one thing, and like me, it's always about schedule and structure. So I did manage to get that.
Yes.
Um, but
Okay.
we did not talk about most of the stuff that we're supposed to talk about because the questions just like derailed conversation over and over. It was cool, and I enjoyed it, but I don't think the audience got as much as they could have
Okay.
from us because of the derailing questions. Yeah, I've got two examples. The one guy was this like great journalist guy. Like I really loved his talk. He's like deep and amazing. But then when he asked the question, he said like, "How are you going to avoid being completely taken out by AI, you know? So like how are you going to AI proof or future proof your business? So like that's an interesting question, right? Well, I didn't even think I had a chance to answer actually because there was like so much talking going on. What I would have said is that, as Joanna Penn says, I'm doubling down on being human. And part of that is like instead of writing a quick little email on a Friday, I do a video. This is my face, like this is my house, my books. I'm real. So I would have said that, but
Right.
I don't think I had the chance because everyone was like, grrr.
Did any answers stand out to you other than obviously what you would have answered? Did anyone kind of have
Um,
any nuggets?
the one guy said, because the guy asked the question was a journalist, and he's like, AI's killed journalism. And then the one guy said, I think journalism killed journalism. And I was like, whoa, like that's why things were wild. It was like
Shots fired.
no one was holding back. I mean, I thought that was interesting because I think the authors who don't embrace technology will, this is a very unpopular thing to say, but I think they will fade out slowly.
And
Maybe
it's just the nature of the beast. And like you've said time and time again, AI is not going anywhere.
exactly.
You said you don't remember if you got to answer that question. Was that anything to do with the wine?
No, dude, I promise you, it was full
Was it
on.
recorded? Possibly you gave the best answer that has ever been given.
You're
You
right, I
just don't
probably did.
remember.
I was probably like much more amazing than I remember. The other
Okay.
question was this woman said, because there were three guys and me, I was the only female. I was the only woman
Yes.
on the panel. But this is because, like, the superstar author who was supposed to give a talk that day and be on the panel, her name's Rachel McLean. She's like amazingly successful. She's a seven-figure author. She was ill. She couldn't make it. She was not impressed. And she was just saying, like, where's the representation? And then I did actually get to answer because everyone looked at me. So not only were there
Okay.
only male speakers because the
Oh
superstar
dear.
female wasn't there, but then again, I was the only woman on the panel. So I can see
Okay.
how she must have thought like what's going on here? because she didn't know
And
about.
what did you say? What was your answer?
I just said that is not a problem in this industry. Female representation is not a problem in this industry. The female authors are absolutely killing it, which is true. I
Yes.
mean,
Yes.
look at those romance authors. Look at most seven-figure authors. They're women. I don't think she liked that answer very much, but it's true. It was a bit unfair for her because she didn't know about Rachel not being able to make it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it like derailed the panel, right? Because we're supposed to be talking about craft and burnout and that kind of thing. And now we're
And
talking,
instead, you're talking about
yeah,
AI and
yeah,
sexism in
yeah,
writing. You're
exactly,
like, what is
exactly.
going on here? These are quite controversial topics.
Yeah.
And I've been drinking wine.
Like, hello, can everyone chill and can we just drink more wine? It would be nice to talk more on the topics, but I still enjoyed it. I mean, I got to sit next to Steve Higgs, who's like my superhero author guy that I love. He's changed my life. And anytime I can
Okay.
spend with him, I'm happy. So I don't know. I was happy with it. Everyone else seemed kind of happy with it. And one of my friends afterwards, she was like, that was the wildest panel I've ever seen. I was like, yes. Awesome.
So the takeaways, I'm sure there's so many of them, and we might have to have a part two. Seville part one,
Yes.
Sevilla part two. Give
Okay.
us some of your biggest takeaways and where they came from.
Okay. So these are my notes.
You were supposed to be WhatsApping me and texting
No,
me.
dude,
I was like, she's not learning much because there's radio sound on my phone.
can I tell you my plan of like taking great photos and taking great videos and
Yes.
photos of myself with people and stuff, none of that happened. Can I tell you how hectic it was? It was go, go, go from the second I got there. Apart from
Yeah.
that first day that I was like exploring Spain, that was nice and relaxing. But I promise you, from the second I got into that conference, it was like da 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 da, talking, 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 learning, teaching, and then it's time for the talks, and then it's networking, and now we're going for drinks, and now we're going for dinner, and now we're going for after dinner drinks. 2 o'clock in the morning, home, up, 6 o'clock, do it again.
Oh,
Next day,
wow.
2 o'clock in the morning, go to bed. Wake up. It's like it. I can't even tell you how
Crazy.
full on it was. My brain was just like, bzzz. It was weird because on my way back, I felt very like obviously tired and all of that, but I felt like this anxiety, which I shouldn't have had because I wasn't that nervous to talk or to meet people and stuff. So, like, why am I feeling anxiety coming back? And then I realized it's not actually anxiety. I was feeling so activated. And it's the first
Okay.
time I've been able to tell the difference. I was so activated. I'm like, all these ideas, all these opportunities. I met so many wonderful people, Delport. I've got so many like amazing friends now in the author
No,
world.
you don't. You only have me.
I'll
I
introduce
am
you,
your
don't
only
worry.
friend.
I'll introduce you. Like really wonderful, wonderful people. And you sit and
Oh,
you drink like nice wine with them and you're just talking about your favorite topic. And it was just wonderful, 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 wonderful.
does that not show you how far you've come in your career? Because I've always said authors who see other authors as competition or hold them at a distance are new authors who don't know any better. Can't show anyone, can't do anything,
Yeah,
can't tell them my plot, they might steal it. Don't want to like share my readers with them.
yeah, yeah.
Whereas a seasoned author is kind of like, listen, we are all in this together. No reader reads one book their whole
Yeah,
life. So, and you can learn so much from other
exactly. And
people.
everyone's so generous. Like I love giving people tips, but so does everyone else. And then like we
Yeah,
all
they
like, have you
don't
tried this?
gatekeep.
Have you tried this? Oh my God, I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna email you.
It's interesting because you would think, well, what if they cannibalize, say, my ad spend, or like if you're going to teach me how to run ads? Some people might think, oh, but if I teach someone else my tricks, then they might cannibalize
Mm,
my results. Do you see what I'm saying?
yeah.
But it's not like that.
I'm sure that not everyone is telling everyone everything.
Everything.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm sure there are those authors who keep their cards very close to their chest because they don't want people flooding in. Like, look at translations. People are just flooding into
Yeah.
translations now. And poor
Yeah.
Eve Newton, I'm sure her cost per click has gone up on Facebook ads because we were all like piling in. But she keeps on
Yes.
giving advice and she keeps encouraging people, and she's flipping amazing. I love her.
I can see that you are activated. You're like, you're buzzing.
Yeah, yeah, I know I was. But I go through like these ups and downs now because I truly am exhausted. Like I didn't sleep a lot. It was very hectic for me to like be on like that with people because I'm an introvert,
Yes.
so I need like quiet time and stuff. So it has been up and down this week. Like all of a sudden I'll feel completely exhausted and I'll be like, I don't even know if I can hold my head up. But then the next hour, I'm thinking
Okay.
about something else that happened, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait to do that. So it's like, grrr. Anyway,
Oh, I love
try and rein it in a bit so I can make sense for the rest of the podcast.
Okay, the takeaways. What do
Okay.
you think is the thing you learned that will affect you or help you or make the most impact going forward?
It's just so much. There's so
I
much.
know, but you have
Okay.
to start with one.
Okay. Honestly, because I knew we were going to be talking about it today, I thought I just need three main takeaways. And you're gonna hate me for all three of them because it's everything we already know. Okay, are you ready?
Okay,
All
so
right.
what are they?
One, publish more books. Two, advertise the books.
Shots fired.
Three, embrace technology. If we can
Okay.
all just sit and we look at our nice little business strategy and we focus on those three things, we will be
Yes.
successful.
So the
100%
first
guaranteed.
one you've got me doing, so that's good.
Yeah, publish more books. And then a part of that is backlist is king, right? The more books you have in your catalog, the more money you will make. It's as simple as that.
Yes.
Some books won't do as well as others, some books will be superstars, and you just have to keep putting those books out. And then, of course, it's not just about writing one book and publishing it as an ebook, paperback, and audiobook. It's about taking that book and making as many products as you can from it. So you write one book, you've got an ebook, you've got a paperback, you've got an audiobook. Then you have in 6 different languages, ebook,
Mm.
paperback, audiobook. Then you have
Yes.
merch if you want. There was a talk about merch. It's very, very interesting. But you need that asset first. You need to create that original
Yes.
asset that you can sell in so many different ways. And it's never been easier to,
And we're still standing by the 6 book principle or 6 or more
in general, everyone agrees that series sells the
all the
most.
way to books.
Can I tell you how many people I had to convince to do box sets?
You're joking.
I promise
Of
you.
series that they have.
Yeah, they've got long series in Kindle Unlimited, and they're not doing box sets
Wow.
because it's like another.
Even I don't know that.
You could have
Even
given a
that
talk,
makes
Delport.
sense.
This one dude, very, very nice guy. He's got 44 books in the same series, and it's crime, and it sells well. I'm like, dude, you are
What are
gonna
you doing?
kill it. I'm like, you're going into KU, you're gonna do these box sets, and you're gonna earn 5 times as much as you.
Rockets.
Let me just put a quick disclaimer. I do not believe everyone should be in KU. Definitely not. But for him, with his backlist
Yes.
and his genre, he is going
Oh
to
yeah.
absolutely kill it. And it was so cool to like see his excitement as I was talking about it because I don't know, like people just aren't as into it as we are. Like I don't even think he even thought about putting
Oh,
his stuff into KU and box sets. He was like, oh, this is like a new idea. This is awesome. I'm like, oh, you're gonna be so rich. You're gonna love me. You're gonna name all your grandchildren after me. All of them. Nita one, Nita two, Nita
this is
three.
Jin, this is Nita, this is Ita, this is JT, this is Little Lawrence. And look at you changing lives.
I know. Well, I learned from the best.
Okay, so let's go back to those takeaways. So we've got write more books, which yes, I stand 100% agree with you. Feel like write more books and try and have like quite a few in one genre. Because
Yes.
I've noticed with Shadow Magic doing well, Guardians has picked up since I changed the
Yes.
covers because it's catching the tailwind.
Hmm.
So whereas it hasn't, none of my other stuff's picked up through Shadow Magic. Do you
Yeah.
see what I mean? So I
Yeah.
think yes, write
And
more
this,
books, but
yeah.
try and clump them.
Yeah, the same thing happened to me when my urban fantasy
Okay.
started going really well. My other books didn't really catch the tailwind because they're a different genre. But that's
Yes.
why, like, I keep on going on and on lately about strategy because if you don't have a strategy, then you're like, oh, I feel like writing a cozy mystery. Then you write a cozy mystery. Oh, no, I feel like doing it. No, no, no. You need to sit
Mm.
down and think, what am I going to do? What's going to make me money? You write to market, you write a series, and you try as much as possible to stay in the same genre until you get traction.
Yes.
So there is something to keep in mind with sticking to the same genre, and that is maybe it's not the correct genre for you. So there
Okay.
were more than one story I heard in Seville that was like she wrote 22 books. She was doing okay. She was making a living wage, but then she wrote this other genre and she completely took off. So
Okay.
there are stories like that. That happened to Ruby Rose. So it's not like you'll be writing this genre for the rest of your life until you die. No, if you enjoy it and that's wonderful and it's bringing in money, great. So don't be scared to pivot, but
Mm.
obviously have a strategy and don't like pivot your whole flipping life.
So if, for example, I put these two series out and the one takes off, then it's a clear mark, like go that way, go in that
Yes,
direction,
yes, yeah.
Okay.
And like for
Okay.
me,
So
I'm looking at my urban fantasy and looking at my romance, and they're both doing quite well. And now I have to decide, because now I'm coming to the end of the series of the Blair Butler romance, and I need to decide now if I'm going to write a new 6-book series in urban fantasy, or just maybe like write another romance. I don't know, whatever. I mean,
yes.
I do know, but it does always make you just like analyze what's happening, analyze the data, what's selling better, what's getting better reviews, what do you love writing, and then go from there.
On that topic, do you mind sharing with us which of your two series, let's say one urban fantasy series versus your romance series, what is selling better?
So definitely urban fantasy, like
Okay.
without a question. But it's because I've got 12 books and 2 box sets. There's no box set for bad. And I'm not focusing on advertising as much as I am with urban fantasy because
Okay.
you
Under
need
the
to,
backlist.
yeah, you need to back your best racehorses, right? And my best racehorses at the moment are my 2 UF series. But when I get that bad box set out, I think that it will become a racehorse, and then I'll be putting a lot more
Okay.
effort and advertising into that.
Okay, so we're writing more books. We
Mm.
are embracing technology is the third one. What was the
Yeah,
second one?
advertise.
Advertise. Okay,
Yeah.
so this is, you've been saying this, your entire business hinges on your Facebook ads, which
Yeah.
is not actually something you're hugely excited about because you say it's like your whole business could go bust if anything happened to Facebook.
Yes,
Um,
and the more authors I meet who like don't really advertise that much and they're still making a killing, I'm like, I want that. Like,
so that is just mastering Facebook ads, and we are going to be going through this quite soon. So there will be probably a couple of episodes coming up purely on Facebook marketing.
yes. And what I'm going to do
Okay,
is I'm
so
going to share my screen with you, and I'm actually going to
yes,
talk you through from the beginning
setting up an ad.
how to set up an ad.
That'll be amazing. And I think we're going to do it on Guardians because that's kind of going to fire
Great.
up. But for now, let's talk about that third point.
Okay.
Um, so, because I think Facebook, we don't want to talk too much on it now when we're actually going to
Yes.
dedicate a
Yes.
whole episode to that. So, embracing technology.
Yes. So this one guy, Pablo Poveda, he was great, and he's really embraced technology. He takes it further than I think like we would want to. Never say never, but I don't want to use AI to write my books. Even like every now and then, I will ask for a description of something that I know I don't have the lingo for. Like in my book at the moment, this helicopter has to land, and it's like really difficult. There's nowhere to land. I don't know any of those terms. I didn't know that those bottom things were called sliders. I had no
Yes.
idea. So for me to go and research helicopters would take 2 days. So I asked ChatGPT, can you describe how it would work if this situation was happening? And it gave me a
Yeah.
brilliant response. And of course, it's not cut and paste. You take it and you rewrite it in your voice, making sure that the characters are there and da da da. And it just helped me so much because a year ago I really would have gone to research like how to land a helicopter and what happens when things go wrong. And it's such a waste of our creative time.
Um,
So obviously, if I'd researched like how to land a helicopter, I would have learned more, and like that in a way that's awesome because now I know like about helicopters where before I didn't. And using ChatGPT or whatever, I think I actually used Grok. Don't have that like deeper learning, but
yes.
but I think it's good that you get the choice. Like you can choose what you want to learn about and not. Like, yes, it would be cool to know a bit more about helicopters, but at this stage in my life, like it's not a priority. And really I just
It's
need to get the
not.
words down.
Like, I agree with you 100% because I always say that, well, for my writing, certainly, that the devil's in the details.
Mm,
So I always tell the people that are starting out, like, don't lazy write. Don't say I walked down the road and I saw a house and like talk about how the streets of Chicago were
mm,
bustling at
mm,
5 because whatever, like give it
mm,
some sort of meat. So I find that when I'm writing, every paragraph I'm researching something. Well, it could be the smallest little detail,
Mm.
but I don't really need to retain that information. I just need
Yeah.
to know it.
Yeah.
So I have found that that's been super helpful because I'll kind of say, hey, chat, what is a typical weather a day like weather-wise in Chicago in September. And
Yes.
then it gives me the details, and then I can use, okay, it might be raining or it's very dry or
Yeah.
whatever. And it doesn't add to my story. It could have gone the other way. I could have gone rainy. But
Yeah.
it just gives me a little bit of detail that makes it more readable.
Yeah.
So
And isn't it weird how AI can provide like a bit more texture to a novel? Because you'd think the
yeah.
opposite. You think AI slop, it's like just like this awful
Yeah.
generic stuff.
Generic.
Here's another thing. So I needed a place that was near Edinburgh for my novel, near Edinburgh, but isolated. I needed a place where it was isolated enough for the bad guys to be able to run an underground drug lab. And I'm like, no, that's just like, there's nowhere there that it would work, I didn't think. So I asked Grok. I am using Grok at the moment, just by the way. I refuse to pay Grok because I know that goes into Elon's pocket. So I needed this place, right? So he tells me that there is a tiny, tiny little island just north of Edinburgh. It's called Cramond Island. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly because it's Scottish. And they're like old war bunkers and stuff there. And it's
No.
perfect. It's perfect. And
Oh,
it
you
was
see,
like
and you
that.
would never have found that. You would never,
Exactly.
ever, ever have
Exactly.
found that.
And what's awesome about it is there's a causeway that is flooded most of the time. So the causeway is like from the mainland to the island, right? And it's flooded
Oh,
almost all the
wow.
time. So if you want to cross, you have to go at like super low tide, and then you have to hurry there and get back. So it's not like you can go any time. So that's even more perfect.
This adds, like you say, depth and a layer to your story that you wouldn't have come up with on your own.
Never,
But
never.
you're writing it. You've just got now this information.
Oh,
It would be like it's almost like someone with really good general knowledge is helping you to write your novel.
exactly, exactly. And obviously you need to check stuff because, AI does make stuff up.
Yes.
So I did check it. I went and looked on Google Maps. Like, I was like, are you sure it's big enough for what we're doing? And like, da da da. And I checked it, and it was perfect.
Okay, so we are writing more series, or we're writing a whole lot of books. We are embracing technology, and we are advertising.
Yes.
And for those who don't know how to advertise, it's going to be okay because that's why we are here.
Yes. You forgot.
Okay,
You've got the most important thing, which I've been banging on about all week. And what is that? It begins with an S.
schedule, schedule.
Schedule.
This
I know
is
I bang on about schedule a lot, but it's not that.
nuts.
To.
Strategy.
Yay! Yes.
Strategy. Speaking of strategy, um, I think it's 2 episodes from now. We've mapped out that we are going to be doing my strategy in real time,
Yes.
correct?
Very excited about
Okay.
that.
I think that's going to be super exciting because it's kind of going to be like a step by step, like for dummies.
Yeah. Yeah. So that'll
It's
be
me, I'm
great.
the
We'll do
dummy.
strategy, and then we'll do Facebook ads 101 with setup, which will be perfect.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
that's exactly what you're going to be doing next. That's great.
But before that, we have more to talk about Sevilla. So,
I wish you were there, Delport. You would have loved it. It was so
would
much
have been
fun.
so much fun.
When you are a six-figure author,
Yeah,
then we
next
can
year
talk about it.
we're gonna solo travel across Europe, but we'll do like little mini trips because we'll have lots of money to
Yeah.
like pay for
Yeah.
airfare.
No,
You
definitely.
now, friend, are you a six-figure author now, or you said what are you?
I am mid six-figure author.
So you're heading for seven.
Well, yeah, I'm halfway there, but as I always say, that's just revenue. And as you know, I
Okay.
spend so
Yes.
much money
Huge amounts.
that so I am still a
Okay.
six-figure author. If you look at my take home, if you look at the
Okay.
business's profit, I am still a six-figure author. Um,
Okay.
um, but what's awesome about being mid six-figure is it opens up a lot of doors for you because people take
In
you
what way?
seriously and they say
Okay, got
they
you.
say she's going to be a seven-figure author soon. So let's
Okay.
just help her. Let's just
Yes,
invite her into this
for
group.
sure.
Kind of thing.
Oh yes. On that note, we are going to open our next. I believe you've had some very, very big news.
Mm.
So if anyone wants to hear JT's very big news, please stay tuned.
Oh, I can't
But
believe you're ending on a cliffhanger. That's brilliant.
I think that that is all we have time for today.
Whew, that was great.
So
Thank you.
Yes, well, for this pod at the very least, because yeah, we are running out of time. Well, I look forward to discussing Sevilla part two.
Me too. Thanks, Delport. See you on
Yes.
the other
All right,
side.
friend. I'll see you on the other side.
Bye.
Bye.